I feel like we're in the day and age where it's such about like the instant gratification and not the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's just like the gift is really in the journey of like, man, like the getting up and, people don't see like the work that's been put in what we do when we go like to a bar with 3 people in there and then you doing some jokes and you get that, you're like, all right, yo, I appreciate y'all, man.
That cough, dude.
That cough is severe. That cough is elite.
What's up, guys? Hey, I'm Dustin Ibarra.
And I'm Greg Baldwin.
And we're podcasting.
Yeah!
Yeah, man. Welcome to Good Things Are Happening.
Man, it's good to be here.
Good things are happening, dude.
It's awesome, dude.
It's
awesome,
exciting.
Man.
This is awesome because like we're doing this podcast and like good things are happening. And then it's like, I feel like we manifested this kind of. What's up, guys? Welcome to Good Things Is Happening. Good Things Is Happening. Good Things Are Happening. Yeah. That's the name of the podcast.
You forgot our podcast name?
I did forget our podcast name. Greg Baldwin. I am Dustin Ibarra. What's up, dude?
I'm living large, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. We're talking about your outfit today. You look like very undercover
Studious.
Cop at a high school, Hey, you know where the drugs are, folks? I like it, man. Color coordinated.
Yeah, it's good, man. How you doing? What's going on with you?
Things are good. My stomach's kind of bothering me a little bit.
Yeah.
I did a comedy store last night. Really stacked show. It was like Tony Hinchcliffe and Tom Segura, just a bunch of like badass comics all the way around. Yeah. Tony Rock, man. And it was a fun time, awesome time. But what they do, his show is sponsored by Dave's Hot Chicken. So they got all this Dave's Hot Chicken back there. So I waited till after my set because I don't want to go up before.
Yeah, we can't eat before.
If I eat before, it's not gonna be as good. Yeah. I'll be all sweaty, bloated, bloated more than usual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So after the show, I went back there and I just went hard, man. And I ate like 3 chicken sandwiches.
Oh no,
spicy chicken. So I'm feeling it today, bro. It's a spicy chicken hangover day. And the first one I ate. Okay, so I took a bite of it and I was like, this is weird,
Mm-hmm.
It's cauliflower.
Oh,
bro, I know. It was
dude.
like, it was the equivalent of like, it was some fine chicken, then you feel balls and you're like, oh, you tricked me,
Did it taste all right?
The balls?
No, yeah.
It tasted good, but it wasn't what I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I need that meat, bro.
I've noticed like as an adult, the vegetables that I would eat, I used to hate as a kid, and now I eat them, and they're fine.
I'll eat vegetables now because I know I gotta eat vegetables.
Yeah.
And I can't be going into a place anymore and saying, I'll take that with no vegetables.
Yeah.
Something saying no vegetables, I feel like I look like an ultra fat ass man.
The ones I still can't eat, eggplant. Oh,
hey, I don't think I've ever had that.
I can't eat eggplant.
Okay.
I used to hate zucchini. Was my least favorite of all, and that's all right.
I can eat zucchini in a
soup. It's
like
a cucumber kind of thing.
It is.
Yeah. It's not bad. And but everything else is fine. Brussels sprouts I used to hate too, and then I was like, I'll never eat those again. And I tried a Brussels sprout recently, and it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad.
Was it like fried?
It was probably fried.
Yeah, they have those out here. They're pretty decent.
Yeah,
actually.
they're not
you fry
bad.
something, it kicks it up a notch, man. Put some makeup on it, some lipstick.
Yeah, they're not bad.
So it was a good night though. Comedy store, did the Netflix's joke. It was a fun old time.
How was your set? Did you have a good set?
Bro, come on, man. This is Dusty, dude. No, it was terrible. No, it was good. It was
You've
good,
been killing lately, dude.
Thank you, man. You as well. What's a good thing happening in your life, buddy?
So, what happened? So we just had the Netflix is a Joke Festival show. I produced SNL Alums, which is a show with former cast members and hosts, and man, it was awesome, dude. It was awesome. I had a closing comedian that wasn't on SNL. What was his name? Dustin Ibarra.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Yeah. He closed the show and murdered. You did. You closed the show and just murdered.
Okay.
But it was good, man. It was weird because
you killed it too, by the way.
Thank you,
don't
buddy.
Sell yourself short, Greg.
Thank you.
I know you think you did worse than you did.
Yeah, well,
we have a comic friend that's always busting his balls, man.
Yeah.
Very carrots and sticks situation.
Yeah. Well, it was like I thought I did fine. What happened was so they had a screen, like a Netflix screen that was like, there was like a Netflix screen with trivia and stuff like that. And
that was playing during your set. And I went to the sound guy. I was like, hey, there's trivia going on behind him. And it was like, well, this popular 90s sitcom was, and you're up there, hey guys, what's up?
So what was funny, because I was doing my set and I saw people kept looking past me. And I'm like, I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, they're looking at and then I saw the screen, but now it was a good learning lesson, because now if that ever happens, I will stop the show. I'll just say, hey, can you put the screen up? You know, and it's like you learn when you become a professional comedian, when things happen, you have to call it out.
Gotta acknowledge things.
You gotta acknowledge things. So I was going through and I saw it, you know, and I saw people looking past me, and it was affecting my performance, my show, and people's attention. But I kept going, and then you went and told them to raise it up, and then the set was great. But I learned, I'm like, if that ever happens again, you just gotta, it's no big deal. You just say, hey, can you put the screen up? And then you go back into your joke. And that's what a good professional does.
Dude, I remember back in the day, I would just do my set like straight through. There could be someone on fire in the front row. I'd just be like, hot dogs, you know? Like,
something happens, someone drops a glass or whatever, and you're like, oh, and you know, I was like word for word. So if anything happened, I couldn't stop and then just go right back to my jokes. And then what Jay Moore gave me a good piece of advice one time. He said less, you know, in Star Wars, he said like less C-3PO, like and more like Han Solo, you know, just cool, relaxed. I'm like, that's good advice.
But you know, in comedy, some people like C-3PO.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's like everyone's got their different taste.
Yeah.
But I mean, Han
but
Solo
you meant like robotic,
and like
reading your lines, you know, instead of just
more Harrison 40.
Yeah. So the SNL show was great. It was I hosted, and then Daryl Hammond, Jay Moore, Tom Arnold, and then you closed it. And fun show. It was awesome, man. And how I stumbled into producing an SNL show, it's just so cool, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you're doing great on it, man.
Yeah.
And, life is good.
My first memory of SNL when growing up was the Mr. Bill. Remember Mr. Bill?
Yeah, dude. The
Play-Doh. Oh no! And he gets squished.
Yeah.
He get killed every episode.
Yep.
And I remember, like on Monday, like all the kids would talk about Mr. Bill was on SNL. And I didn't know what it was, and I would always tune in to see if I can see Mr. Bill. I thought it was like bigger than life. You know, it was like this thing that was just bigger than life. And then, you know, years later, I get to produce an SNL comedy show, which is pretty cool. So I'm grateful, man. Cool. I'm glad Netflix's joke is over, but I'm very grateful.
Yeah. And thanks for putting me on that, too.
Yeah.
That was my only show on Netflix as a joke. So
you could have had your own theater.
Hey, you know, whatever.
I know, but you're doing so well.
But thanks, man. Thank you. So things are good. They're good. And things are about to get better because our guest today is awesome. This dude is hilarious. I get to work with him a lot on the local scene, a lot at Comedy Magic Club. Give it up for George K. Burns.
George, what's up, buddy?
George K. Burns.
Give a clap to yourself in that case. That's
yeah.
That's the production budget when we come and get the fake claps and all that stuff.
We'll put it in later.
I love it.
Laugh track.
Pleasure to have me here. Yeah, something like that.
We'll put a laugh track in.
Yeah. We should just have some buttons, you know, different. I love sound effects, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like pterodactyl just randomly and everything like that. I love that. I love them type of effects, man. Appreciate you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Dude, thanks for coming, man.
Yes,
I mean, you're a very busy man these days, Mr. Audible series award-winning. Yes, We Cannabis.
Oh man, you can keep going if you want to. No, we had some success, and it was for Yes We Cannabis exclusively on Audible right now. We had Method Man in there, Chesina Arnold, Sam Richardson, you know, Punky Johnson, Langston Kerman.
Got Method Man, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was big.
METHOD,
what?
man.
Method Man, that's crazy.
That's crazy. And I was like a little girl inside when I had a chance to work with him and everything. I was like, I'm professional, but I am squealing inside.
We've talked about it before. It's like when we work with like famous comedians, you know, or whatever. Like on the, you know, you're like be professional, don't, you know, and on the inside we're like, this is so cool.
Like,
but you got to be like, you know, just keep it like it's another day. You know?
And you also don't want to act like you don't know who it is either. And then like an asshole. Just like,
it's a weird balance between you don't want to hurt their feelings. Like, what, you're not going to fangirl out over me? Like, no, I will. I swear, Method Man.
But also, then you don't want to look just dumb. Just be like, Dave Chappelle. Oh, I'm George. Nice to meet you. Just like, nah, like, I know who you are. Like, you know, exactly. Trying to find the balance between that. You know what I mean? It's like running into your favorite male porn star or something like that. Like you saw back in the day. It's just like, it's a weird just encounter. It's like you used to handle the business back in the day, brother, back in the times. It's a weird thing in LA. You meet so many different and now he's like, he's like, welcome to Chick-fil-A. What can I do for you? Like, dude, you had the biggest dong in the business. How are you working here, man? Listen, kid, I don't have time for this. It's always weird because, you know, in order for you to have enjoyed it, you had to see the guy too at some point in time. It's a weird thing. Like,
I guess so.
You can't just like blur that out. Yeah. And you can't just not acknowledge it. Like, you just don't go up and fan off of it. You just like, you give the head nod like, all right, and you keep it going at that point in time.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I have a rule. What? This is my rule, is that I only like approach and talk to them and try to have a conversation with them and if I'm working with them. Like if I'm a peer, right? Yeah, but if I see somebody at a restaurant or walking around or whatever, I just leave them alone. You know, that's my role.
Well, because if I talk to him, I want to get a picture because I'm already thinking, I'm like, oh, he's gonna get some likes right here.
You don't want to be weird with it, man. That's all it comes down to. Just keep it chill, man. Keep it chill. But for the most part, like, I don't see too much crazy stuff happening in the comedy scene. Like, well, I take that back. I do see some crazy stuff happening in the comedy scene.
There's crazy stuff happening.
Absolutely. People doing all kinds of stuff back there.
Yeah, man. But so speaking of comedy, so I mean, you started in Tallahassee.
Well, no.
I saw it on your caller ID, so that's what I do for my research. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's great research practices and everything. Caller ID, Tallahassee. His whole life has been there. Now, like, I didn't start comedy in Tallahassee. I started out in LA.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I did. Okay. You know, which is a catch-22 because, you know, coming here at stage time is so scarce.
Yeah.
Like you
not like the Tallahassee scene, you know?
It just non-existent, Tallahassee. You know what I mean? At least you know that in Tallahassee. Like, you're getting no stage time because there are no stage. I think now they probably have like some open mics or something like that. Very low ball stuff. Like, I went back recently to visit my mom and saw like they had, I think Florida State had like some open mic thing for the college campus. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not like a scene where comedy clubs are being built there. There aren't any comedy clubs. There used to be some. But, you know, I grew up in Tallahassee, Florida, in a trailer park out there. House of T-Pain, you know.
Oh, trailer park. Okay. I lived in a trailer park before. Yeah.
You said you don't remember if you
I've lived in a trailer park before. Yeah. I moved all when I was a kid, like so many places, man. Trailer parks are kind of fun, you know. Little community there.
Yeah. If you like just having your house on wheels or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's cool.
Go.
You know, it ain't much to it. You know, it's very boring. Very boring. I think it was interesting because I was like one of the only black people living in the trailer park at that time.
Oh, really?
Hold on a sec. Let me see if I get this straight. You're the only black person in a trailer park. So it was like all trailer park white people?
Yes.
With like white beaters and...
That's what I pictured. I pictured that.
Fried hot dogs and whatnot. No, it was an interesting
fried hot dogs
perspective. No, actually, it was me and another black guy like across the street from me. So like we always hung out, of course. But like it was
and the other people were like, I bet they're starting a gang. We're gonna keep our eyes out.
That's the weakest
this trailer park can't go downhill. Come on.
No, that's the thing about it. Like when I was younger, I was so just like wanting to be like it created this sense of like me wanting to connect with my culture so much that I was like, man, I want to move to the projects.
Oh, okay. I get
it. It was kind of like as a young guy and just being ignorant to just what it was. It's just like, you know, this isn't like something that is I feel connected to. So like, you know, and not to say that this is something that is connected, I'm saying, but even in the trailer park, like you can't start no gang in the trailer park. Like, you're like, I'm representing lot 3. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the thing in which it's gonna go down and it'd be cool at that point, you know? So I think it was the best environment for me growing up because I do have relatives that grew up in the project setting and, you know, it's not fun. It's not something to be, you know, glamorized by any means, but, you know, because I spent time with, you know, friends there and family members over there, but it was just an interesting an interesting experience to have. You know, being in that environment versus like some others. In that
I get
case.
what you're saying.
Yeah,
because I remember, because I'm half Mexican, you know.
Yeah.
But my dad left when I was a kid, so I was in a very like just raised by a white mom from like Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying, in Texas. So when I moved out here, I lived in Pacoima for a while.
Yeah, and
I remember thinking like, oh yeah, I'm getting with La Raza, man.
Yeah.
It's
you
like,
really getting it back. Exactly.
Like, I gotta get back to
Cucaracha.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's going down.
Scary.
Yeah, that exactly though. You get what I'm saying. It's just like you want to be connected to just like like-minded, ethnicities and cultures in that point, So I think what it did teach me is to be able to connect with different walks of life, coming from that type of background. And also my mom put me in different summer camps and everything growing up. And
summer camps.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? The summer camps, it went down.
Fun.
Before the DMs, it was summer camps. That's what went down.
Oh, right.
That's where it went down.
Okay. I never did the summer camp. Man.
You never did the summer camp?
Nah,
You just said the summer camps as if you had experience with it.
I went to a fat camp one time when I was a kid.
You said fat camp?
No, I didn't. I saw the movie Heavyweights.
I went to a drug rehab when that was my summer camp was.
You went to Dare. That's what he did. He went to the actual Dare facility. He didn't even know they had one. That's crazy. So I grew up in
Did
Tally.
your family love that you're all the success you've had and stuff? Are they really proud of you?
Man, they can't believe it just as much as I can't believe it. I promise
they can't
you.
believe it.
No, just as much as me. And it just is like, because, I went to school. I graduated from pharmacy school in Florida. And
pharmacy
University.
school?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I have a doctor of pharmacy. Yeah. And so I worked as a pharmacist for about 6 years prior to, really starting to like kind of dig into comedy and everything. So, when I first told them that, hey, I want to be a comedian, they were like, are you taking the drugs that you're getting?
Yeah. Like, what are you
what
doing?
help do you need? Exactly.
Horrible career decision.
Exactly. So everyone was kind of just like, okay,
Yeah.
George needs assistance at this point in time. And,
did you work at a pharmacy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
was a pharmacist, right?
Yeah,
that's
for sure. At like one of the retail, like you kind of like a Ralph's, like CVS, those type of things.
Dude, I like pharmacies, man. And not even the drug aspect of it. Like you just look back there and it's like, man, what's all that stuff, Like that's
They
crazy.
got their coats on.
It's like a kind of a doctor.
I hate the twinkle in his eye he just had as if like it was the club. And so like,
I love pharmacy,
I love just pulling up to the pharmacy and just showing out.
Like what's going on back there?
A lot is going on back there. It ain't really much.
You had to count the pills out with that little thing, that little I see them, it's like a ruler. Yeah, the spatula, the drug spatula.
And that's what a lot of that is back there. A lot of just putting out fires, a lot of getting cussed out by patients because their insurance don't want to pay for stuff. I got stories for days. Almost got in a fight with this old dude because his Viagra ran out of prescription refills. And and he wanted me to go ahead and top him off with a few, you know what I mean? Be like, and I can get a few. I got a thing going this weekend. I'm like, man, you ain't got that many more. You got to refill stuff on that.
Come
I can't
on,
give
man.
an emergency like feel for it. What's called? You're blocking, brother. You're blocking my blessings. You're blocking my fucking blessings. I'll knock your head off.
Oh,
so
man.
It's like,
we should have got. That's hard, man. Some old dude wanting to bone down and you can't help him out.
I felt this pain. I really did.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what can I do? I'm trying to make sure I'm doing my job here.
You gotta be accountable, dude. There's counts and inventory, and you can't be just doling out some.
Hey, man,
I feel like Viagra, though, they wouldn't really flip out too much.
They wouldn't care too much,
yeah,
though.
if it was like an opiate, if it was like Oxycontin or something, I could see that.
But more so, the emergency supplies are for like real maintenance drugs, like heart medications, blood pressure, diabetes. Like those are real emergency.
There's no
pills.
Emergency dick pills.
No, exactly.
Behind some glass, like break this.
He's like, this is an emergency. I got a thing waiting on me.
It's behind the glass, but you know how they have the chain to break it, but it's a dildo on there. Like,
so you had this incredible career, making great money. You're a doctor of you're a pharmacist, and you're making all this money, and then all
it's
of
a great segue into failure that he's about to get right
now. I'm trying to feel like what it's like to be your family, and then all of a sudden you decide you're going to go pursue a career in entertainment. They think you're crazy. They're When was the time? When was that period, if it's happened yet, where they're like, oh, okay, you made a good decision?
Last year. Okay, and then I've been doing it for like 9 years.
9 years, okay.
But no, I think, along the way, you'll have different little milestones that you can speak towards. You may have like a booking of a little small role here or something there. But I think last year was like my biggest breakthrough, like creative endeavor in that regard, like having Yes We Cannabis. That was something in which I pitched back in 2019 and originally pitched it as a TV show. And I went a few places and, some people said it was cool and passed on it and got to Broadway Video, which ultimately became the producers of it. Wow. They have a production deal with Audible. And so they have these series called like scripted narratives, which are basically like TV shows, but without the visual aspect of them. So if you remember back in the day with radio, they have these like little plays, like little soap operas.
I love those things, man. Dude, and they had the sound effects and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like murder mysteries.
Yeah, dude. Like it's like, and
it's immersive.
Yeah, and he left on his horse, and then they got.
Yeah. I think that was a horse sound.
That was That was the first TV. That was before TV. They had those.
People were listening to those old-fashioned wooden radios, man.
Yeah, like people gathered around the house on the, and the hour came on, and they all listened together.
Yeah. So that they had a string of those projects, and I wasn't privy to them, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." And they were thinking that that idea and concept could be something that fits for that, and I was like, "Oh, well, why not? Let's do it." And that sparked a 4-year journey, which became the project of what it is today. And I remember being so nervous when we finally released it, because there was so much work going into it, which is
you put your heart and soul in that, man. You put so much work in, and so you wrote it before, so it must have been one of those like, if nothing happens, there's so many times in Hollywood where just nothing happens.
Exactly.
You put all this work in, and it's just like a lottery ticket, and you're hoping like, please let this work out. So when it finally works out, you're like,
man, it's just a blessing. And me and my co-writer, Roche Jeffrey, man, we were every step of the way involved with that project, from writing the outlines to the scripts to the table reads to, castings and everything, because we served as executive producers on the project as well. So we were in step and toe with every single portion of that release. When it comes to marketing, comes to art design, all of that.
What's the series called, and what's it about?
Okay, so it's called Yes We Cannabis. So it's about a group of 3 Black friends who start a cannabis startup called Yes We Cannabis, and basically goes in the ups and downs of starting a business with your friends and no one knows what the fuck they doing, and going through dating and understanding how growth comes with just messing up in life and the failures that come with that, and understanding being Black in America as well at the same time. So it also speaks on a lot of social issues surrounding cannabis, like cannabis reform laws, and speaks on just the discrepancy between Blacks and whites when it comes to being arrested for cannabis. Blacks are by 1.5 times more likely to be arrested from cannabis possessions than whites in that point. And it kind of speaks on those topics, but in a comical way, in a sense. So it's almost like a satire in the degree.
No,
so,
I could totally see that statistic, because like, have you ever been busted for weed?
Me, no.
Okay, I have, but I dude multiple times, and the cops always let me go. You know? It was crazy. I was in El Paso, and they brought a dog out to search me, and the dog looked at me as like, "You're going down," Oh,
the dog was black.
Dog knew it, man.
That's what it was.
But
the dog was black.
The cop, he grabbed the weed. He grabbed because it was a pipe, and he was like, "Is this all you got?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, he threw it on the ground. He's like, "Get out of here." And I'm like,
that just meant you had some mid weed.
Yeah. Well, I had more on me too. Once I left, I found some in the truck.
He just evaluated that weed, was like, you ain't even worth arresting over this joint. This is Reggie.
Yeah.
As they call it back in the day, they call it the Reggie.
The Reggie. Reggie. With the seeds,
that's like Walmart brand weed. That's like low, great value weed that you had. Exactly. Yeah, great value weed.
Sesame.
Frosted O's weed. That's what that was.
I kind of missed that weed.
Get out of here.
That weed was cool.
Watch out. Don't destroy the set, man.
Damn.
Jesus Christ. They're like a nice camera too. That's why it's getting real when stuff start falling off there.
It's the weed guy. I got arrested for weed.
You got arrested for weed?
Yeah, it was a big sting operation at my school. What happened when I was in the 8th grade, and that's what I always tell people, it's a sting operation. But what happened was, I had an ounce of green weed, like skunk weed, and out in the bushes, and I woke up in the morning. It was raining, so it was like 7 a.m. I went out in my tidy whities outside, and I put the weed down my pants.
Yeah,
I come walking in. My dad's like, "What are you doing?" And I ran in my room And I grabbed the weed and I put it behind my water bed.
Yeah.
I had a water bed.
A water bed.
A water bed.
Just floating.
Yeah. And then my dad grabs it and he's like, what's this? His 8th grade son had an ounce of weed, right? And he called the cops and had me arrested.
Wow.
Pop
snitched on you
I
like
know,
that?
man.
That's
Like that,
crazy.
So
I'm glad I didn't know
wouldn't
my
let that
dad.
go.
Yeah.
So the cops came, they handcuffed me, put me in the back of the car to like teach me a lesson, took me down to the jail. I ended up having to go to the sentence was I had to go to court, and the sentence was that I had to go to counseling for like 6 months every Wednesday. And the place was like 30 miles away. And guess who had to take me?
Your dad.
My dad.
Hey, look,
Payback.
and he was so tight too. He was just like, I gotta take your fucking ass here.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
pissed.
you know it. He probably
Yeah.
started smoking weed after
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Like, oh, this kid, man.
And then so
snitches get the job.
fast forward to the last time I went to rehab in 2007. The deal was he was going to put me into rehab, but on one condition: he wasn't going to any counselor meeting. He wasn't doing any of that.
Oh yeah, I know you would.
You know,
At
but
that point,
it was
he-
funny
he
because
regretted it.
he had to drive me 30 miles when I was a kid, 8th grade.
Yeah.
And I remember the place. It was called Pyramid Counseling. And there was a guy, my counselor's name, I don't know how I remember this. His name was Hans Dieter. And he was like a 6 foot tall German
Hans
guy.
Dieter. That's a bad guy in Die Hard, right?
It is, right?
Hans Dieter.
Hans Dieter sounds
That was
like
his name.
something. It sounds like a Bond character.
Very
a
bad
Bond
guy.
And he
villain.
had white hair.
Like just his eyes just always squinted like this.
Yeah.
And
Dieter.
they were probably grilling my dad trying to figure out what my parents did to abuse me to get me to do drugs in 8th grade, which they didn't. So anyway, that's my drug. That's my
Oh, wow.
arrest.
That's your drug story.
That's
yeah.
my drug story. Well, that's
I'm
what
mad I didn't have
I have a
anything
lot
to
of drug
contribute.
stories.
Oh, he's got.
Yes.
We have a drugstore.
I think we're coming a long way. I'm the only person in here who hasn't been arrested from weed, and I'm black. So I think
yeah, look at that, man.
look at the reverse here.
Yeah.
This is the bizarre world right now.
I mean, we're making progress. I like it, dude.
I love that. Go us.
So the show, it's an Audible series right now, and people can download it. But you told me the other day they're thinking about maybe animated series.
Yeah. You know, we
You got some things cooking with that?
We spoke to some people. We may be having some things in the works, but I mean, it's very just early.
It is,
right?
yeah.
It's very early, and until it's something.
But I love
official,
that hope, man.
Yeah,
I just,
man,
bro, I'm a
we
dude.
got
I just
some
need
hopes and
hope.
things.
Like,
It's a possibility that things could be taken to another level with it, but we're just trying to work on some things and make some talks. All the LA.
That's
stuff
very
in that case,
cool, man.
But like we're just really enjoying the success of what came from it, and people resonated with it because, like I said, I was super nervous about letting it out because it was loosely based off of my life to a degree, not everything in there. But the main character's name is George, and he was a pharmacist, and I used to work in the cannabis industry for about like 2 years, so that's where the original idea came from. That experience in that area. So
so you worked at a cannabis place? You know what
I
love
worked for
about
a company that manufactured cannabis products, and you
didn't work in the dispensary?
No, I didn't work in the dispensary.
Dispensaries are so
it's
just. I love how they're so the security's so top notch. Dude. I would always so I would go to this one place, and they had those doors where you go in, you open it up, then you go in, and it closes behind you, and it has to close before the other door opens. And dude, the guy he was always super high, so I'd be stuck in there for like 10 minutes. Like, hey, come on, man. Let me in. I smell the weed in there. Come on, dude.
Yeah, it's funny because of the fact that it's so top notch. You think it's like gold bars back there,
Bro,
top secret Area 51 to go back. It's like, bro, I just want an edible, dog. That's
exactly.
it.
They scan your eyes and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Thumbprint,
fingerprint, and all that stuff, man.
I've never bought legal weed. I've been clean and sober off drugs since 2007. So I've never.
Congratulations, man.
No, thanks, man. It's crazy that you could just go to the store and buy weed.
I know it is different, and it's so it's such a large. Like it's so verse as far as like the type of people that you'll see in there. Like you'll see stoner kids at a stereotypical ride. Then you'll see like the buttoned up businessman in there. Then you'll see somebody's granddaddy up in there getting something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just like a strip club.
Yeah, absolutely. You got so many walks of life in there.
Yeah.
All throwing ones, all gathered under one cause.
Yeah.
One purpose.
Is it the same, smoking legal weed? Because I always like the danger of like having to go in the creek or
you like the thrill of it,
in the bushes, and you're like, oh shit, we could get caught, man.
Get busted.
We're gonna get busted.
Yeah.
I always like
y'all getting high off the thrill. They getting high off the genetics now. Like it's whole. They have so many different strains. I don't even think it's a certain thing is like a pure strain like sativa now.
Dude, I didn't even care about the strains. I was just like, I just want to get high, man.
Oh, you get that.
Let me get these feelings to go away, man.
You would get that. THC percentages are crazy.
There's a comedian, his name's Rich Scheidner, and he has a joke. He says, I'm paraphrasing it, but his joke is, he's like, man, we used to smoke weed back in the day, man, and it had, seeds and stems and all this stuff. And he's like, now they grow the weed in outer space, this hydroponic stuff or whatever.
Yep.
One hit of today's weed and generations of your family can't do math.
Facts.
Rich Scheidner, that's his joke.
That stuff will put you out.
It is very powerful. It's powerful stuff. I was always into it because I would roll blunts. I was into the cheaper weed, you know? Like I didn't really care about the like, oh, can you taste the... I'm like, I don't care. I'm just going to put it in a mango flavored wrap. So
you weren't a weed connoisseur?
Yeah, I wasn't a weed connoisseur. But man, I would get some good deals. I'd buy an ounce for $99 of OG Kush, bro. It was... I spent so much money on weed. It's like... I was just an everyday wake and bake, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like every day I had my little card where I get like 5 on my 6th visit. They give me an 8th and stuff.
I think someone would be surprised if you did not smoke if they saw you.
Yeah.
Somebody see you be like, you smoke, be like, no, be like offended. Like what?
I don't smoke now, man. I get offered it all the time though, because I look like, you
look like you got a few down bags on you.
I didn't give up the look.
But you stay strong to that.
Oh, drug dealers see me. They'll be like, I'll be in Times Square where they have there's like a ton of drug dealers. Like, what's up?
You a target. Like you cannot walk anywhere on any street without somebody saying, I got that loud. Like you can't walk. You can't walk anywhere in Vegas and be like, loud pack. And you like, I'm fine, sir.
I was in Vegas and so I did this show and I talk about sobriety in my act and it's so weird. I don't know if they didn't see or they weren't paying attention or they were just being a dick, but they put a baggie of cocaine in my back pocket.
Because they didn't believe you, doesn't it? That's why.
That's crazy. Well, I went back to my place. I thought it was weed. I'm like, okay, this person put weed in my pocket. And then I go up, I'm like, whoa.
Oh, they went extra mile. Say, oh, no, he just don't do weed. We're going to give you one up.
Right. Yeah. He's
graduated from weed. That's what they said with you.
So I went, I took it to the restroom. I flushed it, but I looked at it for a long time. I was just kind of looking at it like,
no, I can't. No, I don't. Me personally, if it's not from the earth, or if it's not a color to it, I'm not messing with it, man.
Cocaine's from the earth, right? Don't they have cocaine trees?
It's from a cocoa plant.
Cocoa plant, something like that. Yeah, I've done the research on it.
Cacao. No, that cacao's chocolate. It's a cocoa plant, or something like that. And that they used to put it in Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I remember that.
So Coca-Cola was from the cacao plant, so that's why they call it Coke.
Yeah, greatest generation.
Yeah,
that's what they call them.
I'd be drinking like
they say bring the
15 of those things.
Bring the old Coke back. That's what they saying.
Bring the old Coke back. Hey, look, Coca-Cola Classic, right?
Yeah, it's in a glass bottle. It's like they swirled it really slowly. Nah, man, I'm good on it. I like a good CBD edible, and I think that's one of the things too why the project was so time relevant, because we are going through a time where it's almost like the prohibition of cannabis to a degree. Because
it is.
And it speaks to that too. Just working as a pharmacist, alternative medicine definitely is a benefit for certain patients. Being the fact that a lot of times when it comes to prescription addiction or drug addictions, prescriptions are a big part of that number.
Bro, I totally believe that. And I'm a supporter of that too, Yeah. Weed is not for me, just like alcohol is not. But dude, if you got a choice to do opiates or weed, weed is better.
And there's a lot of different other products. So like you got CBD, THC. CBD is the products that don't necessarily have this the psychoactive effects in it, right? So
that other stuff, you get like hardcore addicted to it too. Like these people with like painkillers and stuff that get addicted to painkillers. It's like you could get benefits from marijuana, but it's like I don't know. It's a weird subject. What do you think about that, Greg?
My mom started doing gummies, like the weed gummy, THC gummies, because she had no appetite. She's 82 now. and she didn't have an appetite. So I'm like, well, maybe you should try, smoking pot or gummies. And I don't have a problem. My sister's pissed off that I suggested it.
Yeah.
So my mom started eating the gummies, and she really liked them. And
I'm sure she's loving it.
She liked them, and then it helped her appetite, and she felt good. I don't think she's doing them anymore, but I'm not opposed to it.
Did she turn into a pothead, your mom? Like, is she in the culture?
I wrote a joke about it that I do from the stage. It's like, I could recognize, I went over to my mom's house. I could recognize my old behavior in my mom. It was 4:00 in the afternoon. My mom's on the couch in a robe, and there's candy wrappers all over the place, a half empty gallon of ice cream melting. The sink's running. She's watching Judge Judy reruns.
Yeah, you just hear Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Dang,
that's
Mom.
a classic. Yeah, that's classic symptoms right there, man. Like, and I definitely think that.
So, do you like the edibles more than smoking?
Yeah, more so. Like because one, that you pretty much can get more of a idea of what you're consuming, because I know exactly what it is, and especially for like CBD or like something that helps with sleep or anything in that nature. I'm not like a connoisseur, like as far as like heavy into it, but I'll indulge from time to time, absolutely.
Yeah,
and I have, and I think that, depending on how you utilize anything, is a key contributor to that, right? Like too much of anything can be detrimental to you.
See, that's where Dustin and I differ from you.
Yeah.
So the moderation, we don't have, there's no
moderation aspect to it.
It's all or nothing, bro.
Okay. We either in or you out.
One hit for us, or one edible for us, and it's going to be a daily habit again.
Oh,
and then it's going to lead to other stuff.
But you got to understand yourself then in that case, right? Like that's with anything, like, people, when it comes to gaming or gambling, like whatever it is, it's all about moderation in that, right? And you have to have that self, control and being able to understand, like, hey, I may not need to even indulge in this because I ain't gonna be able to turn it off.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had that.
But that's the best bet. If you feel like you don't have that, then definitely you making the right move.
I love buffets, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's no off button.
More and more and more, dude.
Yeah.
But
you gotta understand it.
Dude, edibles, I remember this dispensary I went to, they would give me a free edible every time, man. So I just had a stack of edibles. For one time I was hungry. I didn't want to get high, but I was just hungry, and I like ate a weed brownie.
My
just
God.
for the brownie part. I'm not even to get high.
Those like the edibles where it's like a food, dangerous, especially if it's a good food too. You can tear them things up so quick.
Oh yeah,
you can tear them up, and next thing you know, you're just begging to just have some type of sobriety in you. Like you be so out of there that you just don't even know how you got there in the first place, and you just want to just come to your senses. Ain't nothing you can do about it, bro. Like I think, that everyone has been there before. Like if you try edibles and didn't necessarily know your range.
Oh, bro, yes, man.
Oh my God,
I've heard those stories.
Yeah, man. Because it's everything is good.
Yeah,
everything's good. Like that's one thing about it. Like if you're unedible though, like you can watch anything and it's Oscar worthy. You can watch anything. I was watching Weekend at Bernie's. I was like, man, this should have won an Oscar, dog. Like, this is crazy. Man is up there dancing the music. He dead. How is he still dancing, man?
Well, speaking of Oscars, you just won an Oscar, right?
No.
Okay, but it wasn't an Oscar, but it's an award. You won an award.
Ambie Award.
Yeah.
So we won 2 awards for Yes We Cannabis. It was an NAACP Image Award, which is like a black Oscar.
Oscar, bro.
Oscar,
yeah. That'd be funny if it was an Oscar guy, but he had an afro.
Yeah, it's a Danny. That's what they'll call it.
Danny.
And then Antoine, that's what they want, Antoine Award. And then Ambie was like an Emmy for the podcast arena in that sense. So that was something that was a huge honor for both of us to even, one, have it released, but also be recognized in such a light and to be amongst so many just talented creatives.
Yeah, well, you beat out a lot of people, man.
Strong categories, and a lot of, in ours, we won Best Scripted Narrative in NAACP Image Award, and then Best Performance by cast in the Ambies. And, there were a lot of other projects that had some amazing cast, and, but I definitely think that our cast, man, was just so amazing. We were blessed to have them, and they just really just contributed so much to the project. Every single person, man, like it was really a collaborative project and effort all together, man. So I can't be any more blessed than what I am than
That's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
bro. Like,
well, because I saw you were excited. I watched your Instagram when you won, and I got excited. You were so pumped, and everyone was pumped. I was like, "Oh man, I need to call my mom too."
I was shocked.
Like, just won, man.
I know somebody that won, mom.
Yeah.
No, I was shocked, bro. Like, because again, I'm from Tallahassee, Florida. I would have never imagined if somebody would have told me that I would have been doing comedy and writing TV shows and creating. And when I was 18, I'd be like, "Mo, you on all the crack and you need help immediately." So for any of this to happen, I'm just grateful for it, man. Like the awards and everything are great. But at the end of the day, man, we do it for the art and the craft, right?
Yeah,
we do it because it's something.
We talk a lot about that gratitude and like you've got to be grateful for like what you have, because especially in comedy and entertainment, it's like there's this wanting of more and more and more. But appreciating those moments where you get stuff and like what you have is great, man.
Yeah, because it's not a meritocracy, of course. Like it's not an industry or it's not, life isn't almost like that, right? Like it's not about sometimes how hard you work just because you work hard, but you're gonna get there. There's so many other factors that's involved in that. So it's just like, when people are like, man, when I attain this, I'm gonna be happy at that point. It's like, nah, don't play that game. Yeah. Because you gotta be happy with what you have now. It's a choice too. Because if you do the other way, you'll always be in pursuit. Yeah. You'll always be chasing that happiness.
Always. We talk about that a lot. How it's like, if you're not happy now with what you have, you think having all this other stuff will make you happy?
No, because it's predicated on that.
I'd like to find out.
There was
we just put it to the test.
Yeah.
Get me a Lamborghini tomorrow.
I know, right?
There was a point where I was like, I need to get this, this, and this. And then I got this big opportunity. And as soon as I got the opportunity, I couldn't sleep anymore. I'd wake up in the middle of the night stressed and I'm like, oh, okay, wait, getting this opportunity did not solve.
Yes.
It doesn't bring this serenity and peace. It creates more anxiety and more worry because then you have more responsibilities.
Right. And you're like, man, I need all the girls. You get all the girls. You get all the cars. You get all the fancy clothes and everything and opportunities. And then the scariest part is you get it and it's just like, damn, I'm still not happy.
Oh, yeah.
That's the scariest part.
That's why like the spiritual part, the internal part, the, working on yourself and learning how to become with your, we do a lot of service work and like helping other people, using our gifts to be of service to other human beings. Those are the things I think that make me feel good. I always pray, I do a lot of service work one-on-one, right now, or I go into the jails and the jails and speak to inmates and stuff like that. My dream is to. Let's take a minute to support our advertisers. If you hear the products being advertised, oh wait.
Oh yeah, we don't have any.
Oh man.
But if you'd like to be a sponsor, go to our website, goodthingspod.com, drop us an email, and we'd love to advertise what you're making.
If you hear the advertisements, support who advertises us. That's the way we stay afloat. Series, you get to be of service and bring entertainment, allow people to forget their days and have happiness and joy and, through your series,
Yeah, man.
It's very cool, man.
I appreciate it, man. And, I always say, I thought about it. I was just like, if it helped one person or gave one person joy, the job is done, man. That's one person that you impacted that wasn't impacted before.
Yeah.
Because we're only a degree of separation from something else. Like you're one person away from that person on 1,000 people and that 1,000 people knowing 100,000 people. So you never know how that energy that you translate through comedy, through just your upliftment of others is going to really transfer and just like you can really change a lot of things by just focusing on one person.
No, I'm a big believer in that, man. It's little small things create bigger changes.
Absolutely. Imagine the one person that affected Martin Luther King's life.
Yeah. What do you do to keep like in this business, like for anxiety or like when you're feeling down? Do you have tools you use or like what do you?
Man, I think it's gratitude, honestly, and prayer. Like because we all go through that, prayer, man. We all go through that where we're like, dang, man, I want to like have this and this and everything, right? Like, and it's not even a sense of like you wanting to take something else from somebody, right? It's just like you're always happy for somebody else to succeed and accomplish something, but it's just like, I am I not working hard enough to do that? You'll start to question yourself.
Especially in this world of Instagram and just like you just see everyone's like, what, that guy got this. I got to work on it. That's a big thing. I like pray for people that I like start getting envious of. Like let them have everything that they ever wanted, you know?
Yeah, bro. It's a real thing. You know what I mean? I stopped really being on Instagram as much. I need to be on Instagram more just for the fact of like, I mean, it's a part of our business too. But
it is now.
You know what I'm saying? I like people always get on me like, you only follow one person, and it's Kobe Bryant, and he did. You know what I mean? So like that was like my favorite, like, you know, just hero growing up in that point, right? Like Cole was one of those guys I definitely just like ingrained like this mentality of just working hard and you know, just being relentless, right? But you know, my feed is so just like nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's nothing really. It's like a few suggestions and that's it.
New Kobe statue going up.
Yeah, pretty much. It may be that, if anything, you know what I mean? But I feel like we're in the day and age where it's just such about like the instant gratification and not the journey. Right. And it's just like the gift is really in the journey of like, man, like the getting up, and, you know, people don't see like the work that's been put in with we do when we go like to a bar with 3 people in there and then you doing some jokes and you get that you're like, all right, yo, I appreciate y'all, man.
That cough, dude.
That cough is severe. That cough is elite.
Oh my God. I hate the mixing of the drinks. Like you can hear them putting the ice in a glass. You're like, oh my God, come on, man.
They turn the football game back on.
Yo, I've never heard dishes be so loud than when you're on that stage. I'm like, what? Like, can you please put the dish volume down? Like to inside volume, like y'all got a turn up knob now for some reason now that I'm up here not doing good.
Yeah, it definitely gets louder sometimes.
We did a show during the pandemic at a church, outdoor church. And because churches were allowed to have service, you know, before comedy shows were allowed to come back indoors. So we're doing a show at a church, and I forget who it was. It was a professional comedian. It might have been London Brown or somebody. It was a real good comedian. He was doing the story, and it was so quiet you could literally hear the crickets.
Oh my God!
And he's like, oh my God! He goes, I can hear he did a joke and nobody laughed, and he's like, listen, I can hear the crickets. You could literally hear the crickets, dude.
Hey, didn't you have some show where you could hear the microwave going?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
The microwave.
All you hear is
chicken in the microwave. They put chicken in the microwave.
Oh man,
what happened, dude? You gotta tell that.
Here's the story. So we're doing a show. It was in Inglewood. It was an all black show, and so it was like they were tough. Like it was like the Apollo, you know. If you're dying, they're gonna let you know. You know, they're and if you do good, they're gonna support you. So it was a boisterous crowd.
Oh, right? For sure, they're gonna let you know for sure.
They're gonna let you know. They're an honest crowd.
Honesty,
they're an honest crowd.
Inglewood, Pasadena, they will let you know.
They will let you know. So we're doing the show. The first guy comes up. Everyone's doing good, but one of the comedians goes up. And all of a sudden, the speakers, there's this static. You hear, and they had to stop the show, right? And so they couldn't figure out what was going on with the speakers, right? So all of a sudden, it stopped. And then the comedians start going up, and then they're about to introduce me, and the host comes up, and he's like, "Okay, guys, we figured out what happened to the speakers. Somebody put the chicken in the microwave." And it's causing static feedback on the speakers. Yeah, so please do not put the chicken in the microwave. And then they're like, ladies and gentlemen,
Inglewood show I ever heard.
And then they said, and please welcome to the stage Craig Baldwin. Right. So I go up on the stage. It's a dog fight, right?
Oh, off top. This is a dog fight. It's dog fight off top because now they can't put their chicken in the microwave, and you coming up there. And you coming up there, the colonizer is coming up there,
just looking like
stopping us from our chicken. It's like, yes, that is my doing. I have said no more chicken for the rest of the show.
Nobody can eat the chicken, dude. So I'm doing my set. It's a dog. I'm dying, right? Yeah. I'm dying, and I do this joke, and it doesn't really get a laugh. And then some old dude in the back, he's in a wheelchair. He yells out, "Put the chicken in the microwave."
Yo, that has to be a goated heckle. That heckle is so elite. Hey, put that goddamn chicken back in the microwave. We done listening. Where the chicken at? that chicken became the Sandman for y'all. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The chicken became the Sandman for y'all. It's like, fuck the Sandman. We're gonna put the chicken in the microwave.
That is the best heckle in the history of all heckles.
Oh, bro.
Yo, that is hilarious, man.
He
said, put the chicken back in the microwave, man. What's going on here? That's tough. That's a tough one. I mean, you probably went back home. That's one of those ones where you just like, yo, I don't even know what I'm doing in my life.
No, so I was doing the show with Daryl Hammond from SNL, right? And then Daryl came on after me.
Yeah.
And they started packing up the show while Daryl Hammond, 14-year cast member, is doing his set.
They didn't care.
So they start breaking down the food, right?
Yeah.
There was a food thing, and then they wheeled the food across the stage in front of him, breaking it down on the cart. And like people are getting up and leaving. I'm like, you got a legend in here right now.
Yo,
and then Daryl's
man.
like, are you really breaking down the show right now during my set?
Dog, that's why I love our people, man. I love black audiences because they are so honest. Even when I'm doing like a predominantly white show, sometimes like I'll find like the few black audiences there just to test my material on them because I know exactly like in some audiences, I feel like white audiences like they can be very polite.
Yeah.
You know, they'll sit there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like you know, they're not gonna say much.
We don't want to hurt his
They
feelings.
don't want to hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
Like, look, you get to man black shows. They were like, hey, that shit weak. It was like, damn.
Yeah. I was 17 at this show. It's called Fat Tuesday at the Improv.
Yeah.
All black crowd. I bombed. They booed me. They booed me on stage.
Yeah.
But then, flash forward, one of the best sets of my life was it Chocolate Sundays.
That's
man.
the thing. Like
you
can get one. You can get either end of the spectrum. Like they're gonna keep it honest and they're gonna hold back. So it's just like if you're doing bad, they're gonna let you know. But if you're doing well, they damn near might come up on the stage and hold you up in the air like Simba. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, he is the one.
killing out of all black show is the greatest.
Oh man,
you feel good. You do feel good. Yeah,
it's nuts.
It's because you gotta earn that laugh. Like we know funny. Like we just do, man.
My friend, he was a judge on The Last Comic Standing. He talks about it like it's like when you go to a movie theater with an all black crowd.
Yeah,
they're like stand up and like yelling at the screen. Don't go in there, honey. Don't go in there. They start getting rowdy.
Yeah.
But that was I did a show in Compton and I murdered, and it was the greatest. It was the greatest experience.
We will pour out love, man. But when it's time to let you know that you need to work on something, we will let you know that too. But we will outpour love like none other too. Even if you're not even of the same ethnicity, it's just about like what's on stage at that point, and we will be embraced immediately. As long as you're authentic, as long as you're authentic. Like I think that
I do notice that, because I never changed up, you know. I feel like because you just gotta be yourself.
Be yourself, man.
Like you ever see those comics that go up on the show? Yo, what's up? Start changing their
stop.
It's like what,
like,
dude?
Tanner, please,
bro. I've
it doesn't
seen
look
that.
well on you. It's like, yo, stop,
God.
dog. Like
it's the most awkward thing, dude.
So bad.
Yeah.
And then wearing a button down for like flannel shirt, talking about, yo, my dogs, what's up? Like, stop, bro. It's disgusting. Like you give me all raisins in the potato salad, bro. Like stop. And that's not you. And if you want your raisins and potato salad, that's fine. It's okay. We want you to be who you are. That's all it comes down to, man. Just be authentically you.
Yeah, man.
Embrace that, man.
We like to talk about some good news stories just because, you know, this podcast, we try to do like a positive thing. You know what I'm saying?
Good things are happening.
Good
I think
things
that's
are
what
happening.
the whole point of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of crazy stuff in the world. That seems to be what people focus on, you know, the news. No one wants to hear good stuff.
That's right.
But we do some good news stories. Are you cool to like go over these with us?
Nah, I don't want to bash it.
Comment.
No, I'm messing with you.
Yeah.
All right, here's some news stories. This one is man sleeps outside Popeyes to win free chicken. I'm like, wait a minute, this is Dustin, right?
That was a guy from Inglewood. That's what it was. That was a guy from Inglewood story.
It was
a guy from Inglewood story.
It's my heckler, huh?
Yeah.
I know, that's an interesting transition.
He said, man sleeps outside Popeyes to win free chicken. I'm like, oh, this might be Dustin. And then it said, for the homeless. And I'm like, okay, it's not.
Oh, he did it for the homeless?
He did it for the homeless, yeah.
That's sweet.
So I'll read it. In a heartwarming display of generosity and dedication. This is from Manchester, England, by the way. They have Popeyes in Manchester, England.
Popeyes in Manchester, England?
Yeah.
Wow, seems
That does
seems out of place.
Yeah, that's very strange. I would definitely visit it.
Jack in the Box there too.
Yeah. So he camped
Subway?
out. He camped out for 17 hours for the grand opening in the first ever Popeyes restaurant in Manchester, and he was going to win the prize, get the free chicken, so he can give it to homeless.
Was it like a lot of chicken?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
5 pieces.
Yeah,
his
all
comment,
dark meat too. Like, come on, man.
His comment was, "Thank all glory to God. I can afford food. I can afford a car, so I can help others out. Why not?"
Oh, that's nice.
That's a sweet thing.
That
Like,
is a
how
good
can I
news
not hate him? Well, I know this is really late in the podcast, but can I curse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That was just like halfway. We done with it and everything. Hey, it's fine.
Yeah, you can curse. So that's a heartwarming story.
Yeah,
I would probably not camp out. I would, if I had the money, I would probably just wait and buy some and give it to him. But
that's interesting. You could have just done that.
Like, what was that's what I'm saying. Like, they wanted him to camp out, and the first person ever was to win the prize of, and we still don't even know the undisclosed amount of chicken that he received.
It doesn't even say. It
must have been a lot. Must have been a boatload.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the lottery. You know, you can. I wonder if it's like the lottery. Like, you can either get a lump sum of chicken, or they pay you out over time.
But
like, I want it all
payments,
right now.
It might have not been that much because
you get 10 thighs a month.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can have 100 thighs right now.
Yeah,
I don't think
it was that much because the record, he broke the record for it was a 17-hour wait.
Oh, okay.
17-hour wait.
Yeah. So it had to be like a few $100.
Damn, that's like the Popeyes by my house. They gotta get their shit together.
Yeah, but I think he was what I think he was doing. It was more about getting the publicity from it.
Yeah.
And then, bringing a wider audience to the fact that they're homeless and that we need to do something.
Okay. I wonder if it's the same like Popeyes culture there in Manchester, but just
I would love it.
But just in the English accent and whatnot. It's your order. I don't care, bloke. I don't care. That's for honey. It's in the bag. It's in the bag. It's probably a terrible English accent.
There's plexiglass on there.
Like, they still cussing you out and everything, like just for the English.
Dude, that is weird, man. That Popeyes over there.
They don't give a damn.
There's this one where it's like a bank, man. You got to put the money in and it rotates and then they put the chicken in. And man. Yeah, Popeyes with the little tubes you just put in that joint. They go up in and the thing come back in the tube and there's your 2 chicken wings. Just for all safety purposes.
Okay, here's another story. Okay. This baby's not dying today.
Okay.
Stranger saves infant from burning building. An Ohio man is being hailed as a hero after rescuing a baby from a devastating house fire. The mother managed to escape with one of the twins from a fire. But her other child remained trapped inside. A 62-year-old Army veteran named John, this is in Cleveland, Ohio, by the way. John Stikovich was on his way to work. He ran up, he saw the fire, and she said, I have one of my babies is in there. So he went in there. It was, he kicked the door down and he couldn't find the baby. So he ran out and said, "Where's the baby?" They said, by the kitchen in a crib. So he ran in there. He couldn't find the baby. He was looking, and the smoke was so bad he was going to have to leave. And he heard at the last second, he heard the baby cry and make a sound. He went in, couldn't see, felt around, found her leg, found the baby's leg, pulled the baby out, and escaped with the baby and saved the baby's life.
With the baby head, he had the baby like this. I got it. That is a way for a mama to start a sibling rivalry.
Oh yeah,
that baby come on like.
I was wondering that too, because how are you gonna have 2 twins and like a pair of twins?
So you just gonna leave me back there? You know what I'm saying? Like that baby, we got some talking to do at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you can carry one baby, I think you can carry 2 babies.
Oh, for sure, I feel away. If I was that baby, I'd feel away. It's like, yo, you just left me back there.
She probably grabbed the oldest baby.
Or the youngest baby, because the older.
And the youngest, like, I guess, how do you choose? Were they both the same age?
I think they made a movie about that. Wasn't that Sophie's Choice about? It was like a fire.
And somebody got to get saved.
Here's a question I have for you, Dustin. What? If I was stuck in a fire, would you run in and would you try to save me?
Is there someone else there too? Like, do I have to choose? It's like Greg or George, you know?
George and I are in the fire. Who you?
I would have already been out of the house.
Yeah, George. Yeah, he's got a spidey sense. He can detect it
out of the house.
Yeah. All right.
but that has been a thing that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be a hero, dude.
Oh yeah,
you know, like
it's always like save somebody from like a car that's on fire and stuff like that.
Something. Yeah. I just want one hero moment where I'm just like, yeah, he.
Hey man, all heroes don't wear capes. You know what I'm saying?
I did it.
I know. Everyone knows you did it, Greg. You talk about it every time.
No, I know. I resuscitated someone that OD'd on drugs.
Yeah.
I gave him CPR for 3 minutes and he lived.
Yeah.
Man,
hey, that's been living off that story for the past 10 years.
That's on his little, that's on his profile and everything. That's on his Tinder profile.
That is
save the man.
Lifesaver.
Yes.
Yeah. Hero.
Save someone.
Self-proclaimed hero.
I can save you.
All right, one more story, and we'll wrap it up. A couple in their 80s has fostered 150 children.
What?
With no plans on stopping. So Robert and Margaret Isdale, this is from Lincolnshire, England. Robert and Margaret Isdale opened their hearts to home to over 150 children throughout their fostering journey. They quoted, "It's really quite humbling. It's not about us. It's about the kids we look after. They're the important ones." And they were awarded a big award. And they said that they're 81. He's 81. But Robert's 81 years old. He has no plans to retire and will continue to foster as long as their health permits.
Wow, 150 kids.
150 kids.
Do they live in a shoe?
150 kids. Nick Cannon is jealous right now. He is jealous. 150 kids. And how old is this man? 80?
81.
They're okay.
Over the lifetime. So it was. I don't think it was all at once, but
even if you break that down,
it's a lot. Yeah,
that's a lot of kids.
That's a lot of kids.
And you 81 now.
Yeah.
When does it stop?
Yeah.
Ooh,
it sounds like an addiction, huh?
It does sound like an addiction.
They're chopping up and snorting kids.
Yeah, we gotta adopt a kid.
You got an adoption problem, brother. You have an adoption problem.
That is an addiction.
Yeah. If you have an adoption problem, call this number right now on the screen. This is like
12-step program.
Yeah, exactly.
Adoption Anonymous.
You got to come in like, I have a problem. I cannot stop adopting children.
Yeah.
My 81, how can you keep up with these kids, man? Like, dude, I mean, when they're like 9 and 10, like you cannot at 81 keep up with all these kids. Or just even the little kids. Because it's a couple, right?
Kids. Yeah, there's a couple. And it's really amazing. I saw this video. It's one of the most heartwarming videos I've ever seen. It was a man and a wife, and they had their adopted kid, and it was her birthday, and she was opening the gifts. And the last gift, she opened it up, and it was something they said, read it. And it said, you're going to be adopted.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's heartwarming.
Yeah. She started crying.
They show the
she
parents.
started crying.
I've seen that video, yeah.
That was touching.
And what if they show the parents and they're like, No, I'm messing with you.
George, thanks for coming on, bro. Where can people find you at?
On Instagram, George K. Burns. Also website, georgekburns.com.
And on Audible, Yes We Cannabis.
Yes We Cannabis is out on Audible exclusively. Go check that out. All 10 episodes up right now. And it'll be up there for the foreseeable future. So if you got time, go in your car, listen to it. 30-minute episodes each. Very easy listen. Funny stuff. If you like it, tell somebody. If you don't, just shut the fuck up. It never happened. That's fine. Yeah.
Well, bro, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It was an awesome pleasure, man.
And honestly. I applaud you for taking a chance to follow what you want to do for the rest of your life and giving up a very well-paying career to follow your dreams and go for it. You're going to be super successful.
Man, I appreciate that, man. That's a small price to pay for you ultimately diving into your purpose, you know. And I think you only got one life to live, and why not go ahead and try to just explore what it all can bring to you in that case, right? From love, friendship, and family, brother.
Love, that's
absolutely
great, man.
All right,
thanks, man. Thanks for coming out, man. What a pleasure.
The pleasure was all mine. Honestly, this is great.
Peace.
Hell yeah, man. That was awesome. I'm Dustin Ibarra.
I'm Greg Baldwin.
Find us on social media and on the web at goodthingspod.com.
You can also find us on Instagram and YouTube at Good Things Are Happening Podcast.
We're on Patreon. Sign up because we're going to have some cool stuff on there.
Like really, really, really cool stuff.
So dope we can't even talk about it. Yeah. And remember, when life gets you down, good things are happening.
Good things are happening. Help somebody.